Hello, everyone, and welcome. We are doing a movie review today of another Marvel property, and I have just one thing to say, and that is that this movie may be Captain America, but it sure as hell is not Steve Rogers. I'm Mike, and with me today is.
Other Mike.
And this is Mike's After Action Reviews, and this is the After Action Review for Captain America Brave New World. Alright guys, so as always, I'm here. I have my notes to keep me on track. I have my guest, and we are going to start with the film's production. So, this is Captain America Brave New World, released on February 14th, 2025. It is coming at us from Marvel Studios, which we all know from, the MCU and all of the Marvel movies. And it was written by... So this movie has 5 writers in total, which is usually like a big red flag. But we're going to do the top 3 so you guys can get an idea here. So we have Rob Edwards, who is top billed for the writing. He is most well known for The Princess and the Frog from 2009. That is a basically like a Disney sort of spin-off, an animated movie. And then we have Malcolm Spellman from The Falcon and the Winter Soldier from 2021. And Delan Musan, if I'm saying any of the names wrong, I'm sorry guys, let me know in the comment section down below. But he's most well known from The Falcon and Winter Soldier from 2021. This is directed by Julius Ona, who's most well known for Luce or Luce. I've never seen this one, never heard of it. 2019 release, Luce. Okay, and then the music was by Laura Karpman, who's most well known for the Marvels from 2023. And then sort of a new thing that we're going to do to save time, we're going to get into the cast. So we have Anthony Mackie. He's from all the Marvel movies. He also was in The Hurt Locker with Jeremy Renner in 2008, and I totally had forgotten about that movie until I started doing the stuff. Yeah. But Jeremy Renner and him worked together, yeah. And then we have Harrison Ford, Raiders of the Lost Ark from 1981. Danny Ramirez, totally kind of new actor. He started with The Falcon and the Winter Soldier from 2021. I'm sure, he's been acting and stuff, but just kind of not huge. He was not really in the limelight. Not really an A tier or probably B tier. It's probably like a C tier actor before this. This was like his big break. Then we have Carl Lumbly from The Falcon and the Winter Soldier in 2021. He's been acting for a long time, and now I think that he's probably the most famous he's ever been with this property, so that's great for him. And then we have Shira Haas, who is foreign. She's from Israel, and she is most well known for a series called Shtisel, Shtisel, from 2013 and 2021. So, Marvel, we've talked about this 100 million times, and basically, they're kind of been going downhill. I think they're trying to turn things around. The writers here are mostly from The Falcon and the Winter Soldier and then an animated movie. He's done some other, Rob Edwards, the lead writer here, also did like Treasure Planet and a couple of other things. I don't know the director. The director basically for me is an unknown, and I'm pulling it up here, but I don't know any of the director's works really, at all. The Cloverfield Paradox, never seen it.
No.
So it's a little bit... See, Marvel, we've seen this pattern, too, where Marvel has done a thing where they've gotten these new directors and given them, huge properties to direct, and then or directors that
they-
haven't been. Yeah, what's up?
Yeah. Do they have a DEI quota with Marvel movies?
I'll tell you the truth. I think so. Yes. That's been a big thing. I think so. I think that they're trying to get rid of that now. And not getting into politics really and what we feel about it. But I think the current administration is trying to basically make that illegal, or already has. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. The casting I think was good and we'll get into the characters and how it works out. But Anthony Mackie's been around for a long time. Harrison Ford, great casting, and like I said, we'll get into how he does. Carl Lumbly, I've seen him before in some he's got the face you've seen him in other stuff, but I don't really remember him. But I'm liking how he's doing some things. There's some other actors that we'll get into later. I want to get into the miscellaneous section. But yeah, I think that the production here has been okay. No real big problems or anything like that as far for a Marvel movie.
Right.
So then let's get into the plot here. So this movie is 1 hour and 58 minutes. Did you think that was too long, too short, or just right?
I think it probably was better because sometimes they go really long and you're like...
Yeah. It's too much. Yeah.
When you get old, you got to find a bathroom,
Yeah. Well, one thing before we move on too, I forgot. Laura Karpman from the Marvels, the music for that, I thought was okay. The music for this is okay. Music is either really great or it's just it's fine. It's normal. It's normal. So I thought the music was normal for this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. So then, what's up? What's up?
Yep. No, I agree.
All right, so then 1 hour and 58-minute movie runtime. The IMDb plot summary. IMDb is where I get all this stuff. So Sam Wilson, the new Captain America, finds himself in the middle of an international incident and must discover the motive behind a nefarious global plan. That is I would say yes. The only thing I would say also is this is not a spoiler, so no spoilers. There is, and it kind of works, but there's a secret enemy here. You're not going to... The enemy is not the person that you think it is from the trailers and the promotional material. Any thoughts on the story, just the plot, kind of the idea here of what they wanted to do?
No, I agree. I think it was well done that when you see the the advertisement for it, you don't watch the advertisement and you're like, oh, I already know what the whole thing's about, and why should I go and watch it? This one was more discreet, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They didn't tell you everything, but enough to whet your appetite.
Yeah. And I would agree. I would agree with that. I did like that going into it. I didn't know what it was going to be, and then you start to go, and I'm big into these movies. I've seen all of them. So things start to unfold, and you're like, oh, that's who it is. That's what it is that these people are involved in. It was kind of cool. Some political intrigue. One thing is no political messaging. I didn't pick up on any political messaging of this. A lot of people are really irritated with all that stuff, so it was good to see that they didn't try to
It wasn't overt. There was nothing overt. I mean, you could read into it and try to say, oh man, they're trying to do this, but I don't think there was anything overt.
Yeah. But there is some political intrigue, though. It's kind of surrounded, the movie is around international politics and domestic politics. So international politics and then secret government stuff. Which is fine. I thought that was good. I think it was... So this kind of goes by my next point here, is that I did think that the story was a little bit paint by the numbers, and it was trying to be Captain America and Captain America the Winter Soldier. Do I think it was as good as Captain America the Winter Soldier? No. But it was... I think that probably when they wrote this, they went to Rob Edwards and the writers and said, look, we have Sam Wilson... We need him to be Captain America. Make Captain America the Winter Soldier with Sam Wilson. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah. So yeah, that's I think it was okay. It wasn't terrible or anything, but I just think it was a little bit nothing special. I don't think the writing was so amazing. Yeah, but it was okay. It got you from A to B and told you the story
Right.
that was good, and not everything has to be amazing. So, any other thoughts on the writing or kind of the story that they were trying to tell?
I think I agree with you. It was very basic, and it was like paint within the numbers. Don't go try anything new. Just stick with what's going to work.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it was. I'm not saying it was bad, but it was just there was nothing spectacular about the writing, but it was good writing.
Yeah, yeah. And nothing offensive, too. That's an important thing because a lot of things are becoming so offensive to the fans and to the
Right.
point of just being like ridiculous. And so that it was good. It was good. Okay. So then let's move on to the characters. So just going through the characters real quick. Sam Wilson, he's the new Captain America. We have Thaddeus Thunderbolt Ross, kind of the guy who's been, and he's in the comics too, he's always trying to fight the Hulk and capture the Hulk, and then later he does some other things. Joaquin Torres, who I thought was fine. We'll get into that, but he was the assistant to Hulk, the team Falcon and the Winter Soldier in the show. Did you see the show? So
Are you talking about? Was it a cartoon or was it a
no.
series?
The series on Disney Plus.
I don't think I did.
So I'll tell you just real quick, because we didn't say this in the plot, but you almost have to watch the show to really understand a lot of the stuff. I think. Well, let me ask you this. Did you get it without having watched the show? Like, you understood everything. You weren't like confused about anything. You got it. It's all good.
I think I had an idea, but I'm sure that watching the show might have helped a little bit more to understand it. So
Yeah. So I'll go over one thing about one character that really you probably had to see the show. But then we have Isaiah Bradley. He, in the comic books, was the first super soldier, and they get into that. Yeah, so he's really the first super soldier. He's the black guy. He's the super soldier. And then we have Ruth Bat Seraph. And I'd like to talk about her a little bit, but basically here she's a kind of an agent, like a secret agent, basically a spy. Yeah, so let's start off with the big one, Sam Wilson. What did you think about Sam Wilson in this as the Captain America? Because if you didn't watch the show, this is your first time seeing him as Captain America.
well, I remember it was handed off to him to be the next Captain America.
Right.
I'm getting old. I wonder if I did see the show or not, but I thought he did a good job, but I just he wasn't a super soldier, but it seems like he became a super soldier. That was what I was kind of wondering. I mean, I thought he
Right.
did a great job. That's some, but
Yeah.
I guess as the Falcon, he was just a regular old guy like me and you.
Yeah.
Now he's Captain America. He's upped his game or something.
Right.
Sandbag Falcon or something.
Well, so that was the thing I was going to point out, and I love that you said that. Is so in the show, they fight a group of super soldiers, and the show gets really overtly political, so I really, really did not like his first outing as Captain America, because he basically becomes Captain America in the show. And, he takes up the shield and puts on the suit, and he's Captain America.
I think
Yeah.
I think I watched it. I to tell you the truth,
Okay.
I think I watched it.
All right. Well, yeah, so the big thing is that in the show, he gets the he finds the super soldier serum, and he could have taken it and become a super soldier, and he didn't. And his reasons for that are stupid, I think. And basically now this movie is he's not a super soldier, so what are we doing? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think that the character, I don't think the character works without him being the super soldier, because basically he's still the Red Falcon. Everything that he does in the movie is either a thing that it's what he did as Red Falcon, or it's stuff that he should not be able to do because he's not a super soldier. Like in one of the scenes, he throws the shield and it bounces off 3 guys and then goes into the wall and sticks into the wall. Now that shield is made of vibranium. And in the comic books, it's made of adamantium too, but they get into that here. But it's made of vibranium, which should weigh like 15 pounds. I don't know if you guys know this, but a full-length longsword that knights carried around weighs 3 pounds. And if you try to carry one with an outstretched arm, that's heavy. Okay, so take a jug of milk. Yeah, take like 2 jugs of milk and try to throw them and bounce them off people and then break into a wall. The strongest bodybuilder in the world wouldn't be able to do that. So I have no idea. Like, it really is, once you look back, like, for comic book fans to watch this and go, this guy can't do this. You see what I'm saying? Like, it gets a little ridiculous. Yeah. And then, like, no, this isn't a spoiler, but he fights the Hulk. It's in the promotional material. How? Yeah. How? Oh my God, how? How would this guy do this? So a lot of people were irritated about this, and basically, I'm not, like, really, really mad about it, but I'm like, you know, I didn't like that. I just didn't like it. Yeah. Yeah.
You got to kind of be a little bit ignorant when you're watching it, and
well, the biggest thing. Kind of turn your brain off. The biggest thing, though, is that they had a real opportunity to give him the super soldier serum. Now, in the comic books, he actually does get the super soldier serum, and he stays Red Falcon in the comics. But Red Falcon gets the super soldier serum. So they had a real opportunity to give him the super soldier serum, and they kind of wasted it and didn't do it. Like, it would have fit perfectly for him to take the serum during the show. So that sucks. Okay, then we have Thaddeus Ross, who is played by, as we said, Harrison Ford. I think this is probably the best casting for this character. Other than, so the other guy, the old Thaddeus Ross was, let's see. The old Thaddeus Ross. No, that was the senator. The old Thaddeus Ross, he was played by William Hurt, who did a really good job, but he passed away. And so they in 2022. So they brought in Harrison Ford, and I think that Harrison Ford was the best guy for especially something like this, because he was in Air Force One, and Air Force One he was the president, and so it's like Harrison Ford returning as his role as president, and then not only that, but in Air Force One, he like fights terrorists who take over Air Force One. So it just works that he would also get into a superhero movie where he's going to be like a superhero basically now as the Red Hulk. So I think that they did a good job casting him. I think he's a perfect character. Harrison Ford is kind of a jerk in real life. Like, he's good, nice enough and stuff, but like, he hates the paparazzi. He swears at them all the time, and so it's kind of like Thaddeus Ross is kind of like a mean jerk guy too. So like, it works. I love it. I love Harrison Ford. He's cool.
He's got an edge to him.
Yeah. Well, let me ask you a question without getting into spoilers. I left the theater, and as soon as I left the theater, stuff happens with the Red Hulk and Ross here in this movie. And I just, like, some people said some things in the movie and everything, and I turned to I went with my brother-in-law, and I said, look, did Ross commit a crime? And he said, yeah, he did. He committed a crime because, I mean, again, no spoilers. He turns into the Red Hulk and destroys some stuff.
Yeah.
And my thing is, like, I don't know, because if you were poisoned and then the poison made you, like, insane and you, like, attacked somebody, would you go to prison for that? Is that a crime? Would you be convicted for that? You see what I mean? Like, I don't think, I mean, maybe if the Hulk, like, you'd put the Hulk in a facility. I'm just talking about regular Hulk, not even Red Hulk, just regular Hulk. You'd put him in a facility where you could study him or make sure he doesn't turn into the Hulk, but he's not a criminal because he can't control himself. You see what I mean?
Yeah. But he kept it hidden too.
Yeah.
He wasn't forthcoming with his issue.
Yeah. Well, okay. Yeah. Well, yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, he's passive. He's kind of passive about, not taking care of what's wrong with him. I mean, I think he's culpable because he's not. He knows there's something wrong, but he's not doing anything about it.
Yeah. Well, all right. I mean, I get it. Let us know in the comment section. Yeah, let us know in the comment section down below. Do you think that Ross, if you've seen the movie, do you think he committed a crime? Do you think that he should be a criminal? Not getting into spoilers, not going to tell you guys what actually happens with that, but I'm just saying there's like kind of a thing where people are like, well, he's a criminal now. I don't personally think so, but anything else on the character though?
I think so. I think he's a criminal.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, okay. So then we've got so kind of third billing here is Joaquin Torres, again played by kind of a no-name actor. No offense to Danny Ramirez, but this is the biggest character he's played. I think he did okay. He's fine. I'll tell you that if this is the guy that helps him, by the way, that helps the new, helps Falcon, the new Captain America here. Yeah, he kind of takes the role. Like, I don't think that Sam Wilson becomes Captain America, really. He stays Falcon, and then now we have another Falcon. You see what I mean? So it's just, to me, it's like...
Right. It reminded me...
Yeah.
It reminded me of the old Batman and Robin. He was kind of like the goofy... No, he wasn't... Yeah. He was kind of a naive, goofy sidekick.
Yeah.
I'm not saying he wasn't important, but he's still learning. He's not quite... He's very enthusiastic, but does not lack some wisdom,
Right.
Yeah.
What do you think of the character moving forward? Because what I thought about this is basically this guy's like forgettable. I mean, he has the same abilities that now the new Captain America has. I mean, he has the same abilities as the guy he's working with. That's why I said the Captain America should have the super soldier serum. I think that if they made another Avengers movie with Captain America and other characters, and it was Sam Wilson and this guy wasn't included, I think that no one would care. Like, I think it would be fine not to have him.
They could leave him out if they did it. Yeah, they probably could. I mean...
Yeah. I don't think he hurts the movie or anything. I'm just saying he wasn't like some big important part and moving forward where
not to be a spoiler, but I'm wondering if he can even come back.
Yeah, no, there you go. Yeah, no, and that's not a spoiler, but yes, I think that's an interesting thought. But yeah. Okay, and then actually, to tell you the truth, we have basically my favorite character from the movie, Isaiah Bradley, kind of talked about. So he is a super soldier. He, in fact, is, in my opinion, cooler than Sam Wilson in this movie. I would, honestly, to tell you the truth, if they had another movie that was Captain America and Falcon, and it was Isaiah Bradley as Captain America and Sam Wilson as Falcon, I would be totally fine with that. What are your thoughts?
Yeah. It would be interesting if they do a prequel with that character and follow, so you can get like oh wow, I understand where he came from. Is he? I'm not. Is he? What is his title? Does he have a title?
Okay, yeah. So he was in the show. That's right. I got to tell you. So if you guys haven't seen the show, Isaiah Bradley was someone who was given the super soldier serum before Steve Rogers during World War II.
Right. Okay, now I remember.
And he was actually Captain America.
So he was Captain America also. So you have two Captain America. Okay.
Yeah. So basically my understanding from the comics, and I have very limited understanding of this character from the comics, but my limited understanding, and I might be wrong, let me know in the comment section down below, is that this character, he was very violent, and he was a little bit unstable. Not like mentally unstable, it's just like he was violent. And he may have killed people that he didn't need to kill, and he was like... as far as a superhero, he's regarded as being a little bit too violent. And so that may have been a reason why they said, like, hey, we can't.
And so they put him in jail for a while.
Yeah, for a long time. And they did experiments on him, too. But I really liked his character. I think that the idea of, if they were going to reboot, like basically, in the show... Sam Wilson finds him and says something along the lines of, "You're a super soldier. America needs a Captain America. Come back." And if that guy would have taken the Captain America shield and said, "You know what? I'm an old man, but I still got the strength and the speed of a super soldier. I am going to come back. And then he became Captain America, and Falcon, and Sam Wilson became just the Falcon, stayed the Falcon. I think that would have been great. I think that would have been great. Because I actually like this character, and I like the actor. He does a good job. But maybe I have a fringe idea. Probably a lot of people won't agree with me, but that's my opinion. I really like that. Any other kind of thoughts on the character? So you are not... You're an old man with dementia. Don't remember if you saw the show.
Yeah, it's been a while. I mean, I watch a lot of stuff, so my hard drive's getting filled up.
Yeah.
So... Yeah, I think I'm thinking about that would actually be kind of a cool Marvel to go back and like show the history of this other Captain America.
Yeah.
Isaiah Brown. I think that'd be pretty cool. I think a lot of people would gravitate to that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's an interesting character in the comics, at least. Like when you look up the lore around him, like I said, in the comics, he was a little bit too violent, is my understanding, and so they said, "Hey, you're not going to be the Captain America." But yeah. Okay, so then the last character that we're going to get into, because there are some other characters, but we don't want to spoil and all that stuff. So we have this Ruth Bat Seraph. Now, this is the thing that I didn't like about the movie, and it's not a big deal. So it's not a big deal. It wasn't a big thing for me, but I have to make the comment and at least say something about it. Is that she is Russian, but it's like her father was Russian, her mother was Israeli. Okay. In the comics, she was an Israeli Mossad agent. And the reason that they didn't do that, and they changed it because of the pro-Palestine people who basically protested this movie and said that they cannot have an Israeli superhero, which, in my opinion, is racist. I think that's a racist idea, that if there's it would be like if the Ku Klux Klan came out and said, hey, you can't have a black superhero, we don't like that. And then Marvel said, yeah, you're right, we're going to make that black superhero white now. That's the same thing, in my opinion. So I didn't like that. Yeah. I thought that and it's kind of dumb because she's still Israeli by ethnicity, but she's not. She's a Russian agent, and I was like, look, this is stupid. I thought this was the dumbest thing for them to fold on. Not a huge deal for the character because the character actually was played well, I think. Did you like her? Yeah. She's the little short girl.
Yeah, I kind of picked up on that. Maybe there was something special about her as the movie went on. I thought. Yeah. She's like some. I mean, I think there's other characters that have that kind of, type of abilities and stuff like that. They've just been trained well,
So what she is in the comics, we didn't see her really in this do really much of anything with her superpowers. So she may or may not have superpowers. Some of these characters, they come in and they don't really fulfill what they were in the comics, which is, okay. But what she is she's a mutant. Like from the X-Men, like she's a mutant. She wasn't in the X-Men, but she's a mutant. And she has she basically almost is like a super soldier. She has super strength. In the comics anyway, she can lift 50 tons. Like she's like super, super strong. She has super speed. She can run 60 miles an hour. She has super agility, stamina, reflexes. She's bulletproof. She has a regeneration factor, so if you were to actually harm her, she could regenerate. Basically, she's like a super soldier. She's like like a super athlete. Think of like all of enhanced abilities. Here, we didn't see any of that. She just kind of acts as a secret agent. That's fine. Maybe she'll get more later. Maybe I would hope so because I like the actress. But she doesn't play a huge role. She's kind of a side character. But it's interesting to see her at least introduced. So. Yeah. Any other thoughts on any of the characters?
I think I saw her in a series, if I remember right, or a movie I watched. She's a pretty good actor.
Yeah.
I think she did a good job.
And she's so little. She's like and I love it. It's not I like the littleness. It's like a little, and it's cool as a superhero too. Like she's like a little lady, and if she comes, later on, maybe we get to see her do some more action. It's like little lady running in and whooping some butt. It'd be fun,
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So then we'll move into the miscellaneous section here, though. So we've got new characters. Again, this Ruth Bat Seraph. Actually, let me just look it up real quick because as we're sitting here, just real quick, because she has a superhero name. It's like Silver something, Silver Fox, Sabra. That's her name, Sabra. And my understanding is that Sabra, it means Jewish person. It means Jew. So it means it's a Jewish person born in Israel. So they could not give her that name or call her that because again, pro-Palestine protesters. So they didn't ever call her Sabra. So whatever. I didn't like that. So
right.
Yeah. We've gotten Egyptian superheroes so far in TV shows, and I don't understand why we can't have a Jewish superhero. There's Muslim superheroes, and they haven't been on TV or in the movies yet, but they could be coming as we go. But the idea that you can't have a Jew, I mean, that's anti-Semitic. I'm sorry, and I'm not even somebody who really cares about all that stuff too much, but it's hypocritical. Anyway, yeah. So we do have some new characters. So we've got her, Sabra. We've got Sidewinder. These are like side characters. The bad guy in this, we're not going to reveal him, but they introduced a new character who's the bad guy, and it's a good introduction, I think. And it's kind of tying it to some past stuff. And I think the person who plays him did a good job. I like that actor. Okay, so then we've got Sidewinder, who is played by Giancarlo Esposito, and he is. I'm going to tell you the truth. I know some of the story behind this. Basically, they reshot this movie like 3 times, and during one of the reshoots, the final reshoot, they said, "Hey, maybe we can do some other stuff," because they had to change it. I mean, Marvel came right out and said this movie was very political, and it got into like, white nationalism and racism and all this stuff that nobody wanted. And so they reshot it, and then people didn't like the reshoot, so they reshot it again, and then people didn't like that one, so I think they did it a 3rd time. But during the reshoots, they wanted to have this character, they wanted to add something else, and Giancarlo Esposito was just one actor that was available. And that's really how he got into this movie. And so they hired him, and he plays Sidewinder. And, so his character feels like, to me anyway, just kind of feels like he's thrown in. They could have probably removed his part in the movie, and it would have been fine. He's different than his comic book character so far. They could change that. In the comics, he has teleportation powers, and I'll put a picture up here because he wears this interesting suit that looks like a snake, but he's not snake powers or anything. He has teleportation.
Right, so, right. I liked him in Better Call Saul and
Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
I think that for what he did, I mean, he was fine.
Yeah,
he was good in this for
actor.
what he did. Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, the part of the character was just kind of but it was an okay introduction. Like, maybe we'll see this character. There's the Serpent Society and a couple of things that he's involved with is these secret evil organizations that we could maybe see in the future. So that's cool. They tied in the Celestial in the ocean. It's something that Marvel's been criticized for a lot, is that we've had some shows and some movies that have come out since the Eternals, and nobody's talked about there's a giant alien monster coming out of the ocean. And they finally addressed that. And the way that they addressed it made it so that way they introduced adamantium. Now, they screwed this up. Do you know what adamantium actually is, other than it just being an unbreakable metal?
No, I don't.
So adamantium is a man-made substance, and there's only so much of it because the guy who created it, he basically invented adamantium and then died. And so he made a certain amount of it, and there's only a certain amount of it, and nobody knows how to make it anymore. And the only way to do anything with it is they have to heat it up, but they have to heat it up to like 1,000,000 degrees to make it liquid, and that's how they put it into... it's not 1,000,000 degrees, but it's like a lot. It's more than you could do. And so that's how they made Wolverine, is he's made of adamantium. In this movie, they're saying that it's adamantium, and they make there's a line where Ross says, "Oh, and it's stronger than vibranium. And it's like, no, it's not. They're about the same. They're basically equal. It's just they have different properties. Like vibranium absorbs vibration, so it can even absorb energy, and adamantium is just unbreakable. It's just so strong it's unbreakable.
Right.
Yeah. So
we're in a quandary.
Yeah, you have no thought. You don't have any thoughts on this, but people have complained about this comic book.
I mean, I knew Wolverine had it. You know, he had it in his bones and stuff. That's what made him even more.
Yeah.
You know, made him more, invincible and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So
on one hand, it's like comic book people aren't going to like this because it's just one of those things where you didn't have to change that from the comics. And then on the other hand, people who aren't comic book people are probably, it's going to be fine. We'll just go forward and it'll be fine,
Yeah. I kind of feel that way. It's like, I just, maybe ignorance is a little bit, maybe I can enjoy it more or something like that.
Yeah.
So. But of course, there's things that I feel strongly about when I see them done on television. I'm like, roll my eyes back and like, oh my gosh, are they serious? They're doing that,
Yeah. Well, for one thing, like you say that stuff, it's really great because the reshoots, I think, really made this movie what it is because the show with Falcon becoming Captain America, the show, I mean, he outright says that terrorists aren't terrorists and they need to stop being called terrorists. And it's people who have killed innocent people, and it really got into political stuff. And if they would have made it like that, that would have been terrible.
Oh, that would have been bad.
Yeah. And we don't know how it performed yet, by the way. I'm going to do that in the next action update, so watch for that. We'll talk about whether it made money or not. But, yeah. So my next point in miscellaneous section is, where are the Avengers? Now, and not just where are they for the events of this movie, but the Avengers come back together in Endgame, and Iron Man and the Hulk, and they all do the stuff. Okay. And then in this movie, Ross talks about, I want to rebuild the Avengers. And it's like, but the Avengers are still together. Like they never disbanded. In Endgame, the Avengers were still a thing. They were being run by Black Widow.
Right.
So how are we?
Right. Well, some of them got killed off, right? Am I correct?
Some of them, but not all of them.
Not all of them. Right.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, so that's the thing. And then also they should have probably just had a line or something where they said, hey, the Avengers, that like Thor is off-world and everybody else is busy. Just a real quick line where they could have explained why Falcon isn't with the Avengers right now.
Yeah, I didn't think about, I just kind of thought, they're probably out doing something else. That's all. I mean, I just, I have no evidence to prove that, but I was like, they're probably out doing something else,
Yeah.
Divide and conquer,
Yeah. Well, let me ask you this.
Yeah, there's something serious out there that needs to be taken care of that's beyond this movie. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah. Like Black Widow died. Hawkeye is still around. Thor is still there. Hulk and She-Hulk are out there somewhere. And that's most of the team, and then you have a new Captain America.
Iron Man died, right?
Iron Man died, yes. But Black Panther died, but now there's a new Black Panther. Like, these people are still around, and nobody officially said we are done with the Avengers ever. So I don't know why you'd want to... They need to explain what you mean when you say rebuild. Like, did the Avengers actually disband at this point? I guess they did, but they didn't tell us that. I mean, yeah. So then let me ask you this. What did you think of the Red Hulk? Like, not Ross, but actually the Red Hulk.
I thought he's pretty intimidating. I was wondering how they were going to. He seemed to me more fierce than the regular Hulk.
Yeah, I'll tell you. I think that I liked him better than what we've seen in the past with the Hulk. Like when he jumps and lands and the Earth shudders, and it's like we need to have Hulk like this all the time.
Right.
People complain about the Hulk in Endgame. I will tell you now that Ross is... So the Thunderbolts movie is coming out, and Thaddeus Ross in the comic books does stuff with the Thunderbolts. And, I mean, I'll just let you guys know, the Thunderbolts are named the Thunderbolts, and Ross is called Thunderbolt Ross. So just, you guys can make of that what you want.
Watch out.
I already know some stuff from the comics, and I don't want to spoil it, but it's... Okay.
Yeah. Don't tell me anything, so I won't know.
Yeah. But Red Hulk, I will say that he's not in the... One thing is that he's not in the movie enough. It's just, I timed it. It was about between 7 and 8 minutes. I think that they should have included him a little bit. They could have included him a little more. The other thing is that how did Falcon Cap, whatever you want to call it, how did he fight him at all? Like they show him to be really strong, and there's just... to me, it's some... A lot of people talked about this leading up to the movie, and I'm going to say, I mean, it's still a thing now. It's like, I don't think that there's a way that it would have worked.
I was surprised he lasted as long as he did. I mean, not to be graphic, it was like kind of like you finally trap a fly, and
yeah. No, exactly. He should have pulled his wings off, and I mean, really, that's the thing. Like, it just doesn't happen that way with characters like this. So, those are kind of my miscellaneous thoughts on it. I mean, anything else you want to get into?
Yeah, I think he probably got the super soldier stuff.
Well, no, but he did. No, but yeah, like So
he had to.
No, he says in this movie he never took the super soldier serum. Like, he says, I should have taken the serum, and then somebody else said, like, why didn't you?
Somebody slipped it in his Coke.
While he was sleeping. Exactly,
Here's some vitamins, like the whole steroid thing with the baseball player. I didn't know what they were giving me. I thought they were giving me vitamins.
That's what it is.
He thought they were vitamins.
Yeah.
Super soldier stuff.
Well, okay, so let's get into our final statement and review score here. Basically, I got sustains and improves. I have 2 sustains. I think that Harrison Ford is great. The character moving forward, I think, is going to be a great thing if he stays. Introducing the new characters, you got Sabra, the Serpent Society, Sidewinder, the Red Hulk. We got a lot of stuff. I don't think... Well, I'll tell you in my final review score, but that's my sustains. Okay.
Right.
So those are my 2 sustains. Yeah, my improves here is give Sam the super soldier serum or recast Steve Rogers. They need to either bring in a character that is young Steve Rogers again and somehow explain from the multiverse, or somebody give Captain America some kind of juice that makes him young again and bring him back, because you cannot have a Captain America without the super soldier serum, because it was ridiculous that a normal guy fought the Red Hulk. I mean... More Red Hulk is another sustain or another improve. It was about 7 to 8 minutes, but it would be cool to see this character come back and get like where he's in a movie and he is Red Hulk, like a lot more. And then I would say like stick more to the comics. This one isn't a big deal, but like the new heroes, again, Sabra's not Jewish. Adamantium isn't as strong isn't more strong than vibranium, and a couple of other things that I don't need to get into because of spoilers and stuff, but maybe just stick more to the comics. And then my final review score is, I'll give it an average. I don't think it was spectacular. I think it was okay. I think it was kind of paint by the numbers. Just your average Marvel. Like, the problem with it is that Marvel a couple of years ago, when people said, like, oh, Marvel is just a roller coaster ride, it's not real movies, it's kind of like entertaining slop, it's flashes on the screen. That wasn't true when the Avengers were in their prime. That wasn't true with Chris Evans and all that stuff as Captain America. But now it's becoming true. And this movie is kind of like that.
I think I would agree. I would give it like a average. And I think some of these Marvel movies they're dying to death of Bruce Lee. Yeah. Because after Bruce Lee died, everybody tried to copy him, and it was like it just didn't work. They'd have somebody else with the last name Lee, and it's like you have to do something different. You're gonna have to. There's some. I'm sure there's tons of comics out there that you can start a whole new. Yeah. line of movies and stuff like that, and you have plenty of stuff, but I mean, it was. I thought it was. I mean, I liked it. I'd go see it again. I mean, but it wasn't. It wasn't by far the best Marvel movie. I mean, there's tons of them that are just, they were knocking them out of the park left and right, one after another. This is kind of like post Avengers, and it was.
Yeah, post Avengers is the best way to describe it. I think
it was kind of tired. It was kind of tired at points in the movie, and I think, man, you have to try something different. You got new writers, do something different.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, well, I'm not down in the movie. It was a good movie. There's good characters and everything like that. But it's kind of tired at points.
Well, average, to be very clear, and we talked about this before. So it's bad, below average, average, above average, and excellent. And average is a good score. Like average is still a good movie. It's not bad, but it's exactly what it says. It's average.
they had room. They had room to really kind of, like you said, to make this better. It'd have been nice if the Red Hawk would have went off, and nobody knew who he was, and did something, and then went back to his character as,
Yeah. And then they discovered who it was. Yeah.
They could have done that, and everybody's like, "Where is this guy? Who is this guy? We don't even know who it is," And yeah. But there were some surprises that were good in the movie, some stuff I didn't know about.
And I agree. I do agree with that.
I did enjoy that. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, all right, guys, listen up. So this has been Mike's After Action Reviews. We're talking about Captain America and the Brave New World. We've got Thunderbolts coming out. We got a couple other things coming out that look at the new Daredevil show on Disney Plus. Looks like it's going to be good. It's got the original cast from the Netflix shows. Hopefully things start to pick up a little bit and we can get back, at least a little bit back, to movie magic with these superhero movies. But that is all we've got for you today. So, Other Mike, if you want to say goodbye to everybody.
Goodbye. God bless. Thanks for watching.
Yeah. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to like, share, subscribe. Check out the merch. The merch is pretty good. You can't really see, but this is supposed to be green, but the green screen behind me makes it not green. There you go. So, but yeah, that's all we've got today, guys. I do want to thank you all for watching and just say God bless you all and have a good day. Don't forget to check me out on Twitch and join the Discord where you can voice chat with me while I live stream and you won't be recorded or anything on YouTube and Twitch, so that's pretty cool. You can also find me on Facebook and Instagram. If you like to read, you can see my after action reports on my blog. And if you are interested, you can get some merch from my spring store. The links for everything are in the description below.